Welcome back to the channel, and for today's video we're going over the stock Adobe, ticker symbol ADBE. The stock is currently up 3% and has finally broke through one of the biggest resistance points we've been looking at in a while, and we're going to go over that. We're going to go over what the price target is on this stock, along with where is the stock headed with future AI news coming in 2024. And as you can see, this stock is currently ripping as we're speaking right now. Yesterday finished after hours around $560, and now today, just an hour into market open, we are at $583, up 3%, almost $18 in the day. Crazy moves from Adobe. Let's jump into this a little bit more, talking about this resistance area and what I mean by this. So if we pull out a little bit here to the past several months, Adobe took a rally in May, June, and into the summer of July, before stabling out and basically turning sideways. The stock was trading inside this pattern that I drew out with a support down here around this $510 area and a resistance at this $570 area. We tried to break through once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and now here we are at a 5th time where we made it to $570. But except this time, we finally broke through. And if we can create a new green candlestick that is fully above this resistance area, we're going to $600 plus. This is no questions asked. This is a stock that is going back to potentially all-time highs. If we pull back even further here to where we were, when was this? This was middle of basically the summer of 2021. It was at $700. And it was basically that rush up from COVID during 2020 and the 2021 rally when it just kept on surging. Looks like it hit $699 and tapped out at that 700 area before pulling back and literally falling from basically the end of 21 through most of the year of 2022 before finally finding a bottom here last October, about a year ago. And now here we are back to this rallying spot where I think that we're going to jump back over $600. And we have a lot of room to run up here, and there's a lot of big opportunities coming, which follows up into our next segment of AI and what this company, Adobe, is doing. So let me pull over here to some big news that we were talking about, along with some good price targets outlooks. But first things first, let's pull this down here. So taking a look at what we're dealing with here. So this was news articles that was released over the past couple days, and let's start it off with this. Adobe may see AI opportunities. There's a favorable setup through fiscal year 2024. So Adobe investors will be rewarded through year end and next fiscal year as concerns on penetration, pricing tolerance, and a generative AI weakening the competitive moat. Oppenheimer is a big analyst that goes over Adobe a lot throughout the year. He said that the generative AI will be visible in Adobe's 2024 earnings results, which is huge and will provide good support to the company's valuation. The investment firm upgraded its rating on Adobe to outperform from perform and initiated a $660 price target. So you can see that price target here by Oppenheimer upgrades. They upgraded it to $660 and from perform to outperform, which is huge. D.A. Davidson upgrades Adobe systems from $500 to $640, quite an upgrade there. And then I think there's one other one that got that upgraded, maybe not, but nevertheless, this stock not only has been upgraded from basically a $500 stock where, I mean, last year at this time we were chilling at $280, $300, and now we're talking this stock has more than doubled almost in the past year. I mean, this stock was a $300 stock last year, a little bit less, and now we're looking at it being a $600 stock this year, and potentially moving up to these all-time highs back around $700 with not much in our way. If we just continue pushing through this resistance area right here, this price level, this 570 area, as long as we can hold above it, this will turn into new support. So old resistance, which would be considered this, is now going to be new support, which would be considered this area up here. So everything just gets shifted up. So now that we finally have broken through, if we can hold above this 570, this will turn into a support area, and from there on, we break above 600 and we keep rushing through. There's a lot of upside for this stock. There's a lot going for this stock. I like Adobe. If you take a look at here, tipranks.com has some price target information, and as you can see, they're bullish. I mean, a lot of companies are bullish on the idea of Adobe, and they have been for a while. It's been a big tech stock, and there's a lot going for it in the short term, but as well as the long term. This is a stock that you don't want to mess around with and miss out because of how fast it's moving. I mean, you could see just in the past, let me zoom in here, just since last Friday at $506, or actually technically 2 Fridays ago, $506 has rallied over the past week and a half to $584. And if we take a look here, like I said, at tip ranks, they're having a low price target of $441. A lot of analysts still have that $450 to $500, $550 range because the stock hasn't been performing. And previously, I mean, $500 price target on a $300 stock was a pretty solid price target for it. Now we're looking at an average of $609 and then a high price target of $660. This stock has a lot of upside with it and has just rallied quite a bit in the past week. So what to do with this stock? Let's wrap this all up for you guys. In the short term, if you're going to be playing the short-term game with this stock, I want you guys to wait for a little bit of a pullback here. The stock is hot right now. It has been rallying nonstop for the past week and a half. Wait for a pullback. And if you want to play the short-term game, wait for it to pull back to this 570 area, see what happens. It'll stable out maybe a couple days, and then it'll have its big push to 600 plus with any types of big news that may come out or whatnot. So in the short term, it's a great day trading stock, don't get me wrong, but if you're looking to swing trade this thing, which means keep it over several weeks, wait for it to pull back to this 570 area, see what happens. If it can hold 570 and stays above, buy into it and let it ride to 600. If not, if it hits 570 and falls below, see what happens with the stock. Keep an eye on it. Don't get into it just yet. It may fall a little bit lower, but I believe this is the plan with my swing trade. I'm going to wait for it to pull back to 570, try and hit here, try and stable out at 570, and then take off and push past it. And then we're going to 600 plus, take some off at 590, take some off at 600, and then as we keep going up, take some more shares off. But long term, this is a good long-term stock. I am long Adobe. I've been long Adobe for quite a while now. It's finally nice to see some big action happening in this stock. The past year has been very, very good for the stock. Literally from last October, November area where we are from last year to now, we have basically doubled. The stock is on fire. There's a lot going for it in 2024 with AI and just good, solid price targets from solid analysis analysts out there. So looking forward to the stock for the rest of this year. I'm following to see $600 plus is my price target by the end of year. I see this thing continuing to rally. But looking into next year, this thing could be a beast at 700 plus. We may have some stock splits. Who knows? But looking at this, we got some earnings basically a month from now on the 13th of December, so we'll have to watch out for that. But you can see that every single earnings report that has been reported over the past several months has been a positive increase, and we've been seeing exponentially better earnings per share reports. So there's a lot going for the stock right now. It's a hot stock. There's a lot to look forward to in the short term and the long term of this. So let's keep our eyes on it. Definitely, if you guys are new here, drop a like, hit that subscribe button. If you guys learned something from this video, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what stocks you want me to go over next, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.